The Fox studio lot, with some scenes filmed on location in New York City to capture authentic exteriors. Working within the constraints of wartime production, which limited access to certain materials and equipment, the filmmakers nevertheless created a visually sumptuous film that belied these restrictions. The budget was modest by the standards of major studio productions, yet the results appeared lavish on screen, a testament to the creativity and resourcefulness of the production team. Gene Tierney's portrayal of Laura Hunt stands as one of cinema's most memorable performances, combining ethereal beauty with surprising depth and complexity. Tierney was not the first choice for the role, with Jennifer Jones and Hedy Lamarr among those considered before her. Yet now it seems impossible to imagine anyone else capturing Laura's enigmatic quality so perfectly. Dana Andrews brought a world-weary intensity to Detective McPherson, creating a character whose professional facade gradually crumbles as he falls in love with a woman he believes is dead. Perhaps the most scene-stealing performance came from Clifton Webb as Waldo Lydecker, whose acidic wit and refined malevolence made him one of film noir's most distinctive villains. Webb, primarily a stage actor before Laura, found his defining screen role in Lydecker, earning an Academy Award nomination and revitalizing his career. Vincent Price, later known for horror films, showed early promise in his supporting role as Shelby Carpenter, Laura's somewhat spineless fiancé. The film's narrative structure represents one of its most innovative aspects, employing flashbacks in a manner that was still relatively uncommon in 1944. Beginning after Laura's apparent murder, the story gradually reconstructs her life through the memories of those who knew her, creating a portrait of a woman whose true nature remains elusive. This storytelling approach allows the film to explore how our perceptions of others are filtered through our own biases and desires. Each character presents a different version of Laura, raising questions about whether we can ever truly know another person. When a shocking twist occurs midway through the film, it forces both the characters and the audience to reevaluate everything they thought they knew. This narrative sophistication, combined with dialogue that crackles with wit and subtext, elevates Laura above many of its contemporaries and explains its enduring appeal to film scholars and casual viewers alike. Among the most distinctive elements of Laura is its hauntingly beautiful musical score, composed by David Raksin. The main theme, eventually known simply as Laura, has become a standard in the American songbook, recorded by countless artists across the decades. Interestingly, the memorable melody was composed under pressure after Preminger rejected Raksin's initial ideas and suggested using Duke Ellington's Sophisticated Lady instead. Raksin, inspired by a personal heartbreak, created the new theme over a weekend, producing music that perfectly captures the film's mood of romantic obsession and melancholy beauty. The theme recurs throughout the film in various arrangements, becoming almost another character in the story, representing both Laura's allure and the emotional impact she has on those around her. This effective use of music to enhance narrative and character development demonstrates how film scoring had evolved into a sophisticated art form by the mid-1940s. What makes Laura particularly fascinating from a film analysis perspective is how it subverts many conventions of the detective story genre. While ostensibly a murder mystery, the film is less concerned with the mechanics of solving a crime than with exploring the psychological and emotional states of its characters. Detective McPherson's growing obsession with Laura represents a breach of professional ethics that the film presents not as corruption, but as a form of redemption, challenging traditional notions of the detective as a purely rational figure. Similarly, the film complicates gender roles of the era, presenting Laura as a career woman whose professional success and independence are central to her character rather than incidental. The film's exploration of obsession, projection, and the sometimes blurry line between love and possession makes it feel remarkably modern and psychologically nuanced, even viewed from today's perspective. Among the most interesting behind-the-scenes facts about Laura is how close it came to being a very different film. The studio initially considered making it as a B-movie with a lesser cast and lower budget, not recognizing its potential. The novel's author, Vera Caspary, was reportedly unhappy with many changes made to her story, particularly regarding the characterization of Laura herself. Preminger fought. The critical reception of Laura upon its release was generally positive, though few critics recognized that they were reviewing what would become a landmark film. As sometimes happens with works that challenge conventions or introduce new approaches, its full significance wasn't immediately apparent to all contemporary observers. The film received 5 Academy Award nominations, including Best Director for Preminger and Best Supporting Actor for Clifton Webb, ultimately winning for Joseph Lascelles' black and white cinematography. In the decades since its release, Laura's reputation has grown steadily, with modern critics and film historians consistently ranking it among the greatest American films. Its influence can be detected in countless later works, from straightforward homages to subtle references in films that explore similar themes of obsession and identity. The film's exploration of the relationship between appearance and reality extends beyond its plot to become a central theme. Laura is preoccupied with surfaces, beautiful faces, elegant apartments, sophisticated conversation, while constantly suggesting that something darker lurks beneath these polished exteriors. This tension is embodied in the portrait of Laura that dominates her apartment, an image that seems alive, yet represents someone presumed dead. The portrait becomes a symbol for the film's examination of how we project our desires onto others, transforming them into objects of our own creation rather than seeing them as they truly are. Detective McPherson falls in love not with the real Laura, but with the image he constructs of her through others' accounts and her possessions. This theme of mistaking representation for reality places Laura in conversation with other works of art and literature that explore similar ideas, from Oscar Wilde's The Picture of Dorian Gray to later films like Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo. The legacy of Laura extends far beyond cinema into broader cultural impact. The film's title song became a jazz standard, performed by artists ranging from Frank Sinatra to Charlie Parker. The film has been adapted for radio, television, and stage productions over the decades. Its influence can be seen in fashion, with Gene Tierney's wardrobe in the film, designed by Bonnie Cashin, helping to define 1940s style. Laura also represents an important chapter in the evolution of film noir, coming at a time when the genre's conventions were still being established. Its combination of murder mystery, psychological drama, and romantic elements helped expand the possibilities of what film noir could encompass. Looking at contemporary thrillers and crime dramas, we can still detect echoes of Laura's approach to character development and atmosphere, demonstrating how truly influential works continue to shape creative expression long after their initial release. The enduring appeal of Laura lies partly in how it balances being a product of its time while also transcending it. The film captures the fashion, speech patterns, and social attitudes of 1940s America with documentary-like precision, providing a window into that era. Yet its core themes, obsession, the elusiveness of truth, the complexities of human desire, remain as relevant today as when the film was made. Each generation of viewers discovers new layers of meaning in the film, interpreting it through the lens of contemporary concerns and sensibilities. Film scholars continue to analyze its visual style, narrative structure, and psychological dimensions, finding fresh insights even after decades of study. For casual viewers, it offers the immediate pleasures of a well-crafted mystery and memorable characters, while rewarding repeated viewings with subtle details and nuances that might be missed on first encounter. As our exploration of this cinematic masterpiece draws to a close, it's worth reflecting on why Laura continues to captivate audiences more than 7 decades after its release. In a media landscape where yesterday's sensation is quickly forgotten, Laura stands as a testament to the lasting power of thoughtful storytelling and artistic craft. The film demonstrates how commercial entertainment can also be meaningful art, challenging viewers while still providing the pleasures of mystery and romance. Its influence extends beyond specific techniques or plot devices to something more fundamental: a recognition that popular cinema can explore complex psychological states and philosophical questions without sacrificing accessibility. As we consider Laura's place in film history, we're reminded that the best works of art don't merely entertain us for a moment, but continue to resonate across time, speaking to something essential about human experience and perception. Welcome to another soothing journey through the fascinating corridors of cinematic history, where today we explore one of the most captivating film noir classics of all time. The year was 1944, and amidst the turbulent backdrop of World War II, a cinematic gem emerged that would forever change the landscape of murder mysteries on screen. Laura, directed by the masterful Otto Preminger, stands as a testament to the artistic brilliance and psychological depth that defined Hollywood's golden age. As we settle into this exploration of film history, allow your mind to relax and your imagination to transport you back to the shadowy, elegant world of 1940s New York. The story begins with a shocking discovery that sends ripples through Manhattan's high society and establishes the film's central mystery. Detective Mark McPherson arrives at a luxurious apartment to investigate the brutal murder of Laura Hunt, a beautiful and successful advertising executive. Through a series of interviews with those closest to Laura, including the acerbic columnist Waldo Lydecker and her fiancé Shelby Carpenter, we begin to piece together the life of a woman who seemed to captivate everyone she met. What makes this narrative particularly mesmerizing is the way Laura's presence looms over the entire investigation, despite her apparent absence. Her portrait hangs prominently in her apartment, watching over the proceedings with a haunting gaze that seems to follow Detective McPherson as he becomes increasingly fascinated with the woman he never met. What sets Laura apart from other mysteries of its era is the sophisticated psychological elements woven throughout its tightly constructed plot. Unlike many contemporaries that relied heavily on action sequences or straightforward whodunit formulas, Laura delves into the complex relationships between its characters and explores themes of obsession, projection, and the sometimes dangerous power of beauty. The film asks provocative questions about how we perceive others and how those perceptions can be manipulated or distorted by our own desires. As Detective McPherson sifts through conflicting accounts of Laura's character and relationships, we witness his professional detachment gradually eroding, replaced by a growing infatuation with the murder victim he's investigating. This psychological dimension elevates Laura beyond mere entertainment, transforming it into a thought-provoking meditation on identity and desire. The production of Laura itself represents a fascinating chapter in Hollywood history, with struggles and creative conflicts that nearly derailed what would become a cinematic masterpiece. Initially, Rouben Mamoulian was slated to direct, but after shooting began, studio executives were unhappy with his approach. In a controversial move, producer Darryl F. Zanuck replaced Mamoulian with Otto Preminger, who had originally only intended to produce the film. This change proved fortuitous, as Preminger's vision would define the film's unique tone and style. Behind the scenes, numerous screenplay drafts attempted to adapt Vera Casperi's novel, with several writers contributing to the final script. These creative tensions, rather than diminishing the film, seem to have infused it with a complex energy that mirrors its intricate plot. As you listen to these production details, imagine the bustling studio lot, the heated discussions between artists passionate about their craft, all converging to create something truly extraordinary. The visual language of Laura exemplifies the film noir aesthetic that would become increasingly influential in American cinema. Cinematographer Joseph Lachelle crafted a world of stark contrasts and expressive shadows that earned him an Academy Award. The film's visual design plays with light and darkness, not merely for dramatic effect, but as a reflection of its thematic exploration of truth versus deception, knowledge versus mystery. Every carefully composed frame serves the story, from the lavish interiors that speak to the characters' social standing to the atmospheric nighttime scenes that heighten the sense of danger and unpredictability. When we think about what makes classic cinema endure across generations, this marriage of visual artistry with narrative purpose stands as a prime example. The elegant visual approach of Laura invites us to appreciate cinema not just as entertainment, but as a sophisticated art form capable of conveying complex ideas through imagery alone. The production of Laura took place during a transformative period in Hollywood's history, when the studio system was at its height, but beginning to face challenges that would eventually alter it forever. 20th Century Fox, under Darryl F. Zanuck's leadership, was known for maintaining tight control over its productions while still allowing for artistic innovation within certain parameters. The film was shot primarily on